I met Lissa Marrow on the road to Brindlewick, 3 weeks after the potato incident. And I want to be upfront that I have never, before or since, met anyone who looked at me the way she did in that first moment. Like I owed her an explanation for something I hadn't done yet. She was sitting on a milestone at the crossroads, dressed like someone who'd been walking for longer than her boots were built for, with the specific, careful stillness of a person doing a great deal of internal arithmetic. We were headed to Brindlewick for supplies, a perfectly boring errand that I had no reason to suspect would end with me acquiring yet another complication in human form. And as I got close enough to wave, her face did something I can only describe as falling and lighting up at the exact same time, which I would not have believed was physically possible until I watched it happen. "You're early," she said. "I'm fairly sure we've never met," I said, which felt like the responsible thing to clarify. "No," she agreed, standing up, brushing road dust off a coat that had clearly seen several countries. "We haven't. Not this time." I want to explain, for anyone who hasn't yet had the specific experience of meeting someone from one of your own past lives, that there is no good way to react to a sentence like that. Pim, beside me, made a small, strangled noise that I understood completely because I was making the exact same noise internally. This time, I repeated, "You're going to think I'm odd," Lissa said, with the weary patience of someone who has had this exact conversation more than once. "I returned 4 years ago. 21st life, if anyone's still counting, which I've mostly stopped doing. And 4 years ago, before the wipe, I had a friend. A very particular, very annoying, very specific kind of friend, who I have apparently been looking for, on and off, in every face I meet, since I turned 25 and got all of it back." "And you think that's me?" I said. "I think," she said, looking at me with an expression that was equal parts hope and the specific dread of someone about to be disappointed for the 11th time, "that you have his exact terrible sense of timing. He also showed up late to everything important and made a joke about it instead of apologizing. I'd like to point out that I was, in fact, early today. He would have said something like that too." I did not know what to do with my face. I have, by this point in my life, made peace with public humiliation, livestock related violence, and the discovery that my entire magical existence is a hand me down from a stranger the universe won't name. But nothing had prepared me for this. "I would like to gently change the subject," I told the panel with feeling approximately as much as I have ever wanted anything in my entire life. I did not get to. "Can I walk with you?" Lissa asked, already falling into step beside us, already deciding the matter for all three of us. "Just to Brindlewick. I want to see if it's really you. I've been wrong before." "I was wrong twice last year alone. There's a baker in Hollowmere who has his laugh and absolutely none of his personality. It was very disappointing for both of us." "That's the saddest sentence I've heard all month," I said. "And this month has included a goat." "There it is," she said, and for one unguarded second, before she caught herself, something in her face cracked open with a hope so plain and so unguarded that I felt it land somewhere underneath my own ribs. That's exactly the thing he used to say. Pim did not say a single word for the entire walk to Brindlewick, which for Pim is its own kind of alarm bell. "You're being quiet?" I told him once Lissa had gone ahead to haggle with a fruit seller. "You're being haunted," Pim said, "by a person who's still alive. I didn't know that was a category of problem you could have. Do you think it's true? That you're whoever he was?" I thought about that for longer than I expected to. "I don't think I'm him," I said slowly, working it out loud. "But I don't think that's nothing either. I think maybe I'm standing somewhere near wherever he used to stand. I think maybe that's close enough to break someone's heart a little, even if it isn't close enough to fix it. That's annoyingly wise for a boy who got beaten by a goat. I contain multitudes, Pim. I have been saying this for weeks." That night, the panel added one final, quiet line, a new flag called Echoes. Whoever had carried this system before me hadn't just left behind power. They'd left behind a shape in the world's memory. And I was the only person currently standing inside it.